welcome back to our channel EDU-CARE, and today I am here with a new topic, that is humerus. Today I am going to deal with the humerus that is 3D model. As you can see in front of the screen, what you can see is the humerus. This is the 3D part which, as you can see, this humerus is attached to the scapula, and the scapula is attached to the glenoid cavity. This glenoid is a part of the scapula, and the other two bones, that is the radius and ulna. As you can see on my screen, that's radius and ulna which is attached on the humerus. So let us start with the humerus. What is humerus? Humerus is only the bone of the arm. As you can see, what is arm and forearm. So I've already said in my general anatomy chapter that what is arm. The arm is the only portion. The humerus is called an arm, and the radius ulnar portion we deal with is called forearm, and the lower part, the scapula and the metacarpus, we deal with the hand. Okay, so hand is not a full thing. That is, so it is divided into three parts. That is arm, forearm, and the hand. So this portion, what you can see with the humerus, is the hand. So what comes in the hand is only the humerus bone. This humerus bone is the longest bone of the upper limb. It has two sections, that is an upper part and a lower part. The upper part is actually the lower part. Actually, the upper part is a rounded structure. As you can see in my diagram, the upper part is rounded structure which forms the ball and socket joint. And this lower part is flattened end and the shaft. I hope you know this is the lower. This is the lower end. This is the lower part. What you can see is this one is a lower part, and this one is an upper part which is a circular rounded structure. Now let us see the side determination. What is side determination? See, this upper portion is actually rounded, which is form the head portion, and the lower end, which is the expanded portion, which is from side to side, flattened from before and upward. And the head is directly actually medially, upward and backward, as it is facing forward, and it is backward side. It is not front actually, it is facing backward. There is a two tubercle, as you can see in the diagram. See, I will show in the diagram. These are the two tubercles. This is the greater tubercle. This is the lesser tubercle, which is present at the lateral side of the hand. That is a forearm. I'm sorry, arm. Now let us discuss regarding each structure of this humerus. As you can see, the front portion with the ball type portion, that is head of the humerus. What you can see is the greater tubercle. So this is the greater tubercle. This is on the front side, and this is the greater tubercle, and this is the lesser tubercle. And between the greater tubercle and the lesser tubercle, there is an intertubercle circle. As you can see, there is a deep groove between the greater tubercle and the lesser tubercle. Don't worry, there are some importance to the circles and this greater tubercle as well as the lesser tubercle. And this is the surgical neck. There are two necks in the humerus. One is a surgical neck and one is an anatomical neck. So this is the surgical neck, which is placed laterally, that is transversely to the body, and this is the anatomical neck. As the location, it is discussed as neck, anatomic as the surgical neck. What you can see, this is the crest of the lesser tubercle, where is the ending of the lesser tubercle, and this is the crest of greater tubercle. So what I've studied is the greater tubercle, lesser tubercle, which have two crests on the bottom of the side, that is on the crest of the greater tubercle as with the crest of the lesser tubercle, and this is the intertubercle circles. And this portion is the radial groove. I hope you can see this is the radial groove, which is actually for the radial tuberosity to get attached, the radius, and this is the deltoid tuberosity, and this is the anterolateral surface. As you can see, what I studied is that there is deltoid tuberosity. This is tuberosity. This one margin you can see, and this one on the front side. This is the deltoid tuberosity, and this is the radius. There is actually a grooved portion you can see in that one of the screen, and this is deltoid tuberosity. And this one is called anterolateral surface. Anterior and lateral. As the humerus is on the lateral side and it is placed in the anterior side, so we call them as an anterolateral surface. And this is the anteromedial surface, which means it is anterior sides and it is towards the medial side, so we call them as an anteromedial surface. Now let us go to distal portion. That we learned was the proximal, and now we are going to see the distal portion. So let us see distal portion. This is the posterior side and this is the anterior side. Please remember that. Hope you can understand. This is an anterior and this is the posterior. First, let us see the posterior side. See, this one, what you can see is a coronal fossa. Let us start with the distal one. This is the trochlea, which is actually attached with the radius. I hope you don't worry, I'll teach in the next portion or when we will discuss the radius and ulna. This is the trochlea and this is the capitulum. This is very too important, and side of them there is a condyle as well as epicondyle. I hope you have studied in this humerus bone. So this is the condyle, epicondyles on both the sides, which means they are not attachable, whereas the two condyles which are attached is the capitulum and the trochlea. This is the two epicondyles, which is medial side, one is on the lateral side. This is the lateral epicondyle and this is the medial epicondyle, which are not attached. And this is the capitulum, this is the trochlea, and this is the capitulum. So what is this? Above the capitulum there is one fossa which is called radial fossa, and above the trochlea there is one fossa which is called as coronal fossa. So there are two fossa above the trochlea as well as the capitulum. Above the trochlea there is one fossa, it's called coronal fossa, and above the capitulum there is one fossa called radial fossa. Don't worry, they are much importance because they are radius, as the radius bone is attached on the humerus, so they are some important. Don't worry, when we will discuss the radius bone, that time we are going to see. And this is the lateral supracondylar ridge. As you can see, this portion is very thick and it is like a ridge. That's why called a ridge. This is a as it is present on lateral side, so we call it lateral supracondylar because it's above the condyla, so we call it as a supracondylar ridge. So whenever we study anatomy, we first look at the nomenclature. What is this? It says lateral, means it is present on the lateral side. What supra? Above. Above means above the condyle. This is the lateral epicondyle. This is above the condyle. This is called supracondyle. So we call it lateral supracondylar ridge. Now let us say the move anterior. Anterior doesn't have very much importance, but see, there is an olecranon fossa on the anterior side. Very important. Olecranon fossa present on anterior side, and this is the posterior surface. Sorry, I think I've misused the word. Actually, this is the posterior surface, and that this one was the anterior surface. Because when we flex the hand, forearm and arm should come towards the body. So this is the anterior portion, and this portion what you can see. This is the posterior portion, posterior one. So this is the posterior surface, and that one what we saw before, that was an anterior surface. Sorry for that misconfusion. So this is the posterior view. Now what we see in the posterior view? See this one. Posterior. This is the posterior surface, and there is a fossa called as olecranon fossa. And on the lateral side is the lateral supracondylar, as we already saw that, and there is nothing in the posterior. So this is the anterior surface, very important. We saw many things on the anterior side, and we saw many things on the proximal as we discussed. Again, we will discuss what is on the anterior. This is the anterior side. As you can see, I hope my bone is moving. Pretty portion. Okay, so as I said, this trochlea and the capitulum plays a very significant role when we come to the radius and ulnar bone. This ulnar bone is attached with the trochlea of the humerus, and this radius bone is attached with the humerus at the capitulum. So this is the capitulum, and this is the trochlea, through which the radius and ulna respectively have been attached. See, this is the anterior portion. As you can see, this is the anterior portion. When we flex this arm, this forearm will come towards the arm, that is called as flexion. I hope you know that this term, flexion and extension. So this is the terminology. Now as you can see the body skeleton. See, this is the scapula posterior surface, this is the clavicle, and this is the humerus. This humerus is attached to the scapula at the glenoid tubercle. See, so this is the glenoid tubercle. I'll focus that. See, this is the glenoid tubercle. Now is the posterior surface. How you can understand the posterior? As you can see this ridge, which is only present in the posterior surface. So this is the posterior surface. This is the posterior surface of the humerus. As you can see, posterior, there was an olecranon fossa. Now this olecranon fossa, this ulnar bone will actually get inserted at the olecranon fossa. So that was the importance of the olecranon fossa. And anteriorly there was two fossa. This fossa will actually come into existence when you flex your hand. Okay, this was the importance of these two fossa. And this is the 3D model of posterior view of hand. I hope you can see it. Okay, now let us see laterally how we studied. So laterally you can see there was a greater tubercle, this is the lesser tubercle, and between them there is a tubercle circle. So see, laterally you can see this is the greater tubercle, this is the lesser tubercle, and between them it is called an intertubercle circle. Between the two tubercles there is one sulcus, there is one groove, it's called as intertubercle circus. And see lateral, this is called supracondylar ridge. Why it is called supracondylar ridge? Because it is about the lateral epicondyle of the humerus in the distal end. See how clearly you can see this bone, how this is attached with the ulna, is attached with the humerus. So clearly you can see this structure. So this is like a pulley structure in front of me. This is the trochlea, which is attached with the ulna. There is a lower bone, there is a forearm bone. We'll study that in a later class, but for now you can see how beautifully it is attached with the humerus and the trochlea. It is like a pulley. Okay, and this is the medial end of a structure body. I hope you know the anatomical posture of a body. And this portion, what you can see is the mid. This is the lateral portion where it is connected with the radius at the radius structure. Okay. Now let us study deep the structure. Now what is capitulum and all that thing. This is the capitulum. This capitulum is a rounded projection which articulates with the head of the radius. I hope you saw the diagram how this capitulum got attached with the radius, that is the forearm bone. Okay. And second one is trochlea. This trochlea is also called as a pulley. In trochlea, actually in Greek language, it's called as a pulley. It is actually like a pulley-shaped structure. It articulates with the trochlear notch of the ulna. I hope that I show you the structure how this humerus got attached with the ulna. And this is the medial side. This medial edge of the trochlea projects down 6 mm more than the lateral edge, and this results in the formation of carry angle. I hope I showed you that it acts like a pulley. When you extend, when you flex your hand, it actually adds. It brings your forearm towards the arm. Then we study the medial epicondyla and the lateral epicondyla. This medial epicondyla is a prominent bony structure on the medial side of the lower limb. It is a subcutaneous and it can be easily felt on the medial side of the body. And this is the lateral epicondyle. This lateral epicondyle is smaller than the medial epicondyle. And the anterolateral part, anterolateral in the sense anterior portion, and the lateral portion we call it anterolateral part as a muscular impression. Very important. And this one sharp lateral margins. I said you there is a margin called a lateral supracondylar ridge, and medial is also called a medial supracondylar, as these structures are present above the condyles of the lateral and medial epicondyle, so it is called lateral mediacondylar ridge. And there is a fossa as fossa on both the structure as above the capitulum as the trochlea. Above the capitulum there is a structure called radial fossa. This radial fossa is actually a depression present just above the anterior aspect of capitulum. It accommodates the head of the radius when the elbow is flexed. During the flexion, the head of the radius gets attached to this fossa. And this is a coronary fossa. This coronary fossa also depression just above the anterior aspect of the trochlea, and it accommodates the coronary fossa of the ulna when the elbow is flexed. And on posterior surface we study there's an olecranon surface, olecranon fossa which lies just above the posterior aspect of the trochlea. It accommodates the olecranon fossa of the ulna when the elbow is extended. I hope you understood this much. So I hope you understand this 3D model very beautifully and very clearly. It's very easy if you go to study according to structure, and I hope I've covered all the points which are actually there in the humerus. Don't worry, I've only discussed only the parts of the humerus, the muscle attachment on, and I will discuss in the next portion or in the further classes. So I hope you like this video. Thank you for watching till here. If you like this video, do like and share and subscribe. Thank you for watching here.